Hello everybody, today I'm going to demonstrate how I clean my nihonto. This one is a katana made in the 1600, I believe, from Yetsugu. Here's the NBTHK authentication paper with the picture. You can see that this one has been appraised in 2008. And it is an okay katana, not my most prized one, but still warrant keeping in good order and maintaining, oiling and cleaning up. I tend to do it twice a year, maybe once a year, depends. And yeah, I already took it out of the protective bags that I once had made by, I believe her name was Tracy Arden. She did an excellent job. Tracy Arden from the Nihonto forum. And sorry, I've got a cold. Okay, so with that being said, I usually do like this and get on the safest place that I can find. It's pretty much the bed. You do not want to do this where there could be children, pets, dogs and cats. If you got cats, you close the door and make sure you don't get disturbed, because this is a very it's not complicated, but it's something that you have to do in very precise steps to make sure that you do not damage the finish, the polish of the nihonto, because a nihonto polish can cost up to, I don't know about now, but about some years ago it was 100 per inch, I believe. Maybe it's even more now, and there's like two to 3 years of waiting to get a job done. So yeah, you do not want to damage the polish of the nihonto. Plus, it's an antiquity. It's an object of art, and you do not want to be the one that damage the blade. But of course, these steps can also be applied to the modern production katana. Don't bother if you got a stainless steel katana. That's not worth it. It won't rust anyway. So some basic rules of thumbs. Never use a metal object to disassemble the blade, the nihonto. That's why the little hammer that comes with it, with the kit, that I will show you later on, is made out of brass. And as you can see, I remove my watch, my ring, everything that is metal that go to. Just let me remove that as well. Just make sure that there's absolutely nothing that could potentially scratch the blade. And what else? Same goes for the tissue. You can always use the paper that is provided in the kit, but I don't know why I never use it. Maybe it's because they're so little. And I found out that on the nihonto message board that the crumpled tissue do absolutely the same job, as long as you crumple it to remove the starch, I believe, to remove the roughness that could induce micro scratch. But this worked just fine. So that is one prepared. And another important note: never touch the blade with your bare hand. You can use a tissue glove or rubber glove or latex or whatever you want. I never use any glove, but I'm extremely careful not to touch it. So first off, what you will need is, beside the root and the safe place, a little cushion to rest the blade on, small clean kits and tissue paper, in the small kit you will have some shoji oil. I believe it's light mineral oil with some clove extracts. It smells nice, that's it. A little bag of forgive me, it's been a while. I don't use the words that often, but it's a little powder that is very fine, and you do not want to break this, so you go very lightly with it, and it could also potentially scratch the blade if you put too much on and make a cake out of it. But tiny hammer and the cloth to hold the blade. That's about what I will need. So first off, how to unsheath the blade properly. You will have to place both hands on each side and cross your thumbs on the back, and with your thumb on the back, I don't know if you can see, you simply push on each side, on the opposite side. To get the blade out, you always make sure that the blade is curved on that side, and you gently slide it out like this, ensuring that only the moon, again forgive if I do not remember all the Japanese name, I'm not really that good at them. So the moon is the burnish unsharpened edge that is usually used to parry attack. That's the part that glides against the tsuka. So first off, you can rest the blade on the little cushion and use the little hammer to remove the pin. The pin that's called Makugi, I believe. That's just a little smoked bamboo pin. Make sure that you do not lose it. And if I remember correctly, that one was really bad to remove, so I hope I don't have any problem. You never, as I said, you never touch the blade with your finger, so what do you do when you cannot remove the blade? The blade is stuck inside the tsuka. Well, what you can do is get one of those fancy wooden thingy that is sold on the Japanese website, to especially designed for this job. You place them there and hammer with a little wooden mallets, but I don't have any of those. So what you can do is firmly grab the blade roughly around there and whack with your other hand. Oh, maybe that side is safer. Whack on your other hand, so to loosen the blade up. You never want to grab it and or pound it with a hammer, except the one that is designed for it. So this one, I remember, was quite painful to remove. I hope it's going to go good. Yeah, not so bad today. Must be the dryness of the summer. The fall now. So you remove the abaki. This one is brass, nothing fancy. Gets the job done. Pretty good geometry. Really good, actually. And now will be the time to enjoy the blade. As I said, this one is not particularly good, but it's still worth preserving. It is from the very early period, but as I said, it's been a long while. Right now I'm just maintaining them. I'm not looking to buy more or exchange them. I'm just looking to get back into that. So first off, what do you do? You want to wipe, as I said, always grab the blade. No, I never said that, but I will. Always grab the blade from here to where is brown, the nakago, because you do not want to grab under the abaki. The abaki, as you can see, was here, because the oil from your hand could get pushed up on the actual blade or whatever. So first off, you want to rub the blade and squeeze firmly to remove everything that is solid, mind the sharp edge, of course. And when you wipe, don't start from there, don't start from under the abaki. You could grab some of the black patina, the oxidation, and with your tissue, and cause a super long streak of a scratch all the way up to the blade, to the tip, to the boshi. Won't happen with the modern production katana, of course, but that's something to be mindful of with nihonto. So I'm going to prepare another one on this paper, but this time I did not show you. But there was nothing on the tissue. As you can see here, I don't know if you can see, but there's absolutely nothing, no, except the dust in the air. There's no residue. So right now you want to take the, sorry I forgot the name, the powder thingy, and gently tap it on the blade, beginning from the top all the way to the bottom. Notice I'm really just tapping, because first off, you do not want to breathe this. It's very fine powder, and you do not want to use too much. As I said, with years it could potentially not damage, but dull the finish, the polish. So now that you have your nanako, I believe, the powder, I'm not sure, sorry if I make some horribly terrible mistake, but it's the matter, the message that matter, not the terminology at this point. You take another piece of clean one, a new one. Same goes, same as before. Start from the moon mashi, the amashi. You start from there and you pinch, you squeeze really hard. Well, not super hard, but you squeeze it there and you rub it. One smooth stroke. You don't scrub like this. You stroke. The point is to remove the old oil. I'm going to show you in a moment. Okay. I don't know if you can see this, but that's maybe the camera won't pick it, but that's really dirty. The black stuff was the old shoji oil that has solidified and picked up dirt and whatnot. So, as I said, maybe I did not. Now is the time to admire your blade, to make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. Well, to basically enjoy it. And now is not the time to make silly moves and cut in the air. This is an antiquity, a piece of art, not a toy. So, with that being said, it is the time to grab another piece of tissue. This one's a bit big. Fold it, maybe too big again. Okay, I usually make a piece like this. Grab your shoji oil, whatever. Place about 3 drops of oil on it. What I usually do is I drop the piece of paper, the tissue, and gently, but in one stroke, I apply the oil everywhere. Of course, this one is a katana, so it's harder to do in one stroke, but it's manageable. Again, you do not start below the hamashi. I don't know if I'm in focus. You start above the hamashi, and after that, when you're done, you will apply the oil under the abaki. That is the small copper piece. Apply some on the moon aussi. Moon. And this one has some moe. That's the tiny groove. I do try to make sure there's some oil in there too, because that's the kind of place that likes to gather rust. I think I will go. I will get another one. Make another pass just to make sure. As I said, sometime I skip a year. I do it only once a year, so I want to make sure that there's enough oil to cover everything. I did not pick the best one to do this because it's quite long. You see, the small paper dropped on my bed. Can't use that. I don't know what's on the bed. I don't know, there might be some grits, something that could damage the polish. I'm being extremely careful, but as I said, if you are doing this to your production line katana, or like a bugai or any other whatever, don't have to be that maniac about it. So right now there's a small coat of oil all the way through, and now I'm going to apply. It looks like I'm putting a lot of oil on, but I'm actually just right now maybe 5-6 drops, and most of it stay on the tissue. So after you've wiped all the blade from abaki up, you wipe the blade from abaki down, but you never go up with this tissue because of the, as I said before, the particle of rust or oxidation that could go up. So you make sure that there's enough oil under the abaki. Okay. Now to reassemble it, slide the abaki up, slide it back inside the tsuka. Never touching the blade. Placing the mokugi, gently tapping it. Okay, and again using the moon, you gently slide it back in like this. I usually let them sit for maybe 10 minutes and get it back, ensuring there's no oil beading. If there's any oil beading up because I use too much oil, lightly wipe it off with crumpled tissue, and same goes if there's a place that is missing. What you want is the rainbow effect. I can't really describe it, but sometimes when they're just the right amount of oil, there will be some iridescent rainbow effect. That means that the oil is really thin enough, not too thick. Rust won't have a chance. And also always check that there's no, sometimes there's some small piece of wood from the saya that gets on the blade. You do not want them to sit there for 6 months or 12 months. It's best if it's not there altogether, but I guess it's better that someone is taking it out, putting some oil, because that's usually when you get it in and out, that these little piece of wood detach themselves. So that's about it. Always make sure to keep your paper with your blade, and yeah, happy collecting.